Good morning, students. Let us continue with the story Dr. Heideggers Experiment. Today it is going to be the last lecture, whereas this story is concerned. We are going to conclude the story in today's lecture. My poor Sylvia's rose, ejaculated Dr. Heidegger, holding it in the light of the sunset clouds. It appears to be fading again. Dr. Heidegger speaks. This is the rose that was given to me by Sylvia. He was holding that rose in his hands in the dim light of the evening time. He says that it seems as if this rose is once again fading. And so it was. Exactly, the rose was fading. Even while the party were looking at it, the flower continued to shrivel up. Even all the four venerable guests of Dr. Heidegger, they were looking at it. There was a continuous change in the condition of the flower. It continued to shrivel up. It started to fade till it became as dry and fragile as when the doctor had first thrown it into the vase. Continuously, it kept on fading unless and until it became once again dry, once again weak. Exactly in the same condition when Dr. Heidegger for the first time put this flower in that particular pot. He shook off the few drops of moisture which clung to its petals. What Dr. Heidegger did, he removed a few drops of moisture which were there present in the petals of these flowers. I love it as well, thus as in its dewy freshness, observed he, pressing the withered rose to his withered lips. These are the emotions of Dr. Heidegger. He says that I love this flower even in this condition also, as I loved when it bloomed properly. While he spoke, the butterfly fluttered down from the doctor's snowy head and fell upon the floor. While he was speaking, the butterfly, which was sitting on the head of Dr. Heidegger, it flew and fell down on the earth. His guests shivered again. The four guests, observing all these changes, they once again became afraid and started trembling. A strange chillness, whether of the body or spirit, they could not tell, was creeping gradually over them all. A strange impact of chillness, whether it was there on the bodies of these four people or it was there on the soul, it was creeping gradually. They gazed at one another and fancied that each fleeting moment snatched away the charm and left a deepening furrow over where none had been before. They were looking at one another and they thought, they were imagining, as if each passing moment it was keeping away the charm of youth or charm of young age. And what it was leaving behind? A deepening furrow, Deep marks, wrinkles of the age, once again on their faces. Was it an illusion? Whatsoever happened till now, was it just an illusion? Had the changes of lifetime been crowded into so brief a space? And were they now four aged people sitting with their old friend Dr. Heidegger? Now, certain questions were there in the minds of these people. Was it an illusion? A deception? Whatsoever happened with them? They also think that the changes of lifetime in a very limited time, once again, can these changes happen? They also start thinking whether they have become old again and they are sitting with their friend, old friend, Dr. Heidegger. Are we grown old again so soon? Cried they dolefully. In a very sad tone, sorrowfully, all the three people they cried. Are we grown old again? And so soon? In truth, they had. In reality, once again, they became aged one, old one. The water of youth possessed merely a virtue more transient than that of wine. This particular content, the water of youth, it was having the quality, short-timed impact as the impact of the wine itself. The delirium it created had effervesced away. The unconsciousness, the reaction, the changes created by the impact of this water, they are now going away. Yes, they were old again. No doubt, they were old again now. With a shuddering impulse that showed her a woman still, the widow clasped her skinny hands before her face. Now, the reaction of the lady was she could not realize, she could not accept that she had become old again. With her palsied, with her skinny, old hands, she covers her face and wished that the coffin lid were over it. She also desires it would be much better to be on the earth with such a face if she were there in the coffin as a dead body. Since it could be no longer beautiful, the reason was that face, that look, that image was not going to be beautiful longer. Yes, friends, ye are old again, said Dr. Heidegger. Dr. Heidegger addresses to the friends and says, yes, my dear friends, you are old again. And lo, the water of youth is all lavished on the ground. And look, whatsoever we were having in the pot, the water of youth, the entire water, it is spread on the floor now. Well, I beam on it not. Well, he says, I will not regret for it. For if the fountain gushed at my very doorsteps, I would not stoop to bathe my lips in it. He says that I am contented with my conditions. If fountain of youth is supposed to be there on my door, he says that even then I would not go there and drink this water. Know thou, its delirium were for years instead of moments. He says that even then, the impact of this water, suppose it remains for years, even then, I will not drink it, I will not intake it. Such is the lesson ye have taught to me. Your reactions after becoming young have taught to me this lesson that one should be satisfied with the position, one should be satisfied with the factor, age factor. But the doctor's four friends had taught no such lesson to themselves. But whereas the four friends of doctor, they are concerned, they learned no lesson from the entire experiment and the reactions. They resolved forthwith to make a pilgrimage to Florida. All these four friends, they decided that they will go there in search of this fountain of youth. It is supposed to be a pilgrimage for such people. And quaff at morning, noon, and night from the fountain of youth. They say that we will go there and we will find this fountain of youth in Florida, and after reaching there, we will keep on drinking this water from fountain of youth in the morning, noon, and night, just to remain young forever. So, in this way, whereas the story is concerned, this is about human nature, the incorrigible nature of human beings. They have faced so many problems in becoming old, but still the desire burns there to be young once again. They did not learn any lesson from the experiment as it was learned by Dr. Heidegger. That's all about this story. We shall start with the new chapter in our coming lecture. Thank you very much.